Down there.
The Chatacabra is an amphibian monster that makes his debut in Monster Hunter Wilds. He has a relationship to the Chatacabra, a fan favorite monster from the 4th generation that we've unfortunately not seen, as far as a hunt anyway, since 4U. The Chatacabra is a monster that undoubtedly is lower on the totem pole of power, a tier 1 monster if you will. That's kind of how I like to rank them. But it is a monster whose difficulty is right there with the majority of the Great and Drone type monsters. They are there to get the hunter warmed up to either the world, gameplay, or functionality of a particular mechanic. With all that said, since the game isn't fully out yet, I cannot say that he will be the first monster you fight in the game, but given his actual difficulty and his relative size, he just might be. Nevertheless, the Chatacabra is, like I said, an amphibian, and outside of sharing some visual characteristics of the Chatacabra, he's quite a bit different. Now, the Chatacabra actually uses his tongue to attack the player, which is something that the Chatacabra doesn't do. Actually, Tetsu is more of a frog and basically hops around and throws his body at you, where Chatacabra will actually use his arms to attack you, which is a perfect segue to say that his skeleton is more in line with that of a fanged beast than that of the actual first amphibian monster in the game. Doing so lends him to have the ability to use his arms/hands to deploy attacks. He does this in a downward pounding animation. Now, true to his nature with him being a beginner monster, these attacks do not do a great amount of damage, and the attacks themselves are highly telegraphed, so the player has plenty of time to react to it, counter, or just sidestep it altogether. Another attack he has is reminiscent to that of Lagambi and Arzuros, where he leaps into the air and lands on the opponent. Now, when the Lagambi and his kin did this attack, they dropped their butts on the player, where this is more like a belly flop/body slam, which is, now that I think about it, actually closer to that of the Congalonga, which he technically does have it just like the Congolong. Since the Congolong himself is actually confirmed to be in the game, maybe it's more closer to that since it's easier to copy and paste an animation than it is to kind of, you know, fabricate a whole new one given the type of monster that actually is. But given the type of monster that actually is, it makes more sense since, you know, he's half-fanged beast now. Nevertheless, we get ahead of ourselves. But as I wrap this up, I'll say this. The Chatacabra may be a tier 1 monster designed to get the player up to speed with the controls and how the game is plays. This little guy actually packs quite a bit of stuff given his pedigree. He's an amphibian that's related to Tetsu, but is built more like a fang beast, so he can use his arms to attack while also using his tongue to trip the player as well. Given his skeleton, he also shares attacks with other fang beasts, being that there very well may be a chance where he might actually have a tougher subspecies later on down the line that we don't know nothing about yet? Question mark? We don't know a great deal about this monster, but what we do know gives me hope that the amount of detail and care will be seen in all the other smaller large monsters that have gone on record saying are the most important monsters in the game, since they are truly the blue-collar monsters and are actually designed to curry favor with the player, but more so to be a stepping stone. With that said, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Digger himself. Thanks so much for watching this brief analysis on the Chatacabra. Once the game comes out in full, we will go over all the details of the monsters, such as battle tactics, strengths, weaknesses, as well as the armor and the weapons. But until then, take care.